The professors of practice. They're in there not just book learning, they're out there doing the world, in the world. They spend a third of their time on their practice, and that's what they're teaching about in the class. I think it's essential for us to encourage creating enterprises, entrepreneurship within the class. As Buck Goldstein points out in his book, this has typically been in engineering or management. I think that we in the iSchool should really recognize our acknowledged centrality to what's important for business success today and become the natural locus of academic entrepreneurship programs. So this is something we started at the iSchool in 2009. It's an 18-credit minor. I won't have time to go through all these 4 courses. Probably one of the ones that's the most important is the final one, a student sandbox, where students who compete get to spend the whole summer financially supported in the sandbox. By then, they have their own idea for a venture. They've done a prototype of it, and they've got a pitch ready for the venture capitalists. The Student Sandbox is a where we have a full-time entrepreneur in residence, coaches the student teams through their venture creation. It provides the mentors. Each student has 5 mentors, a technologist, a subject matter expert, an attorney, accountant, and an entrepreneur. Each spring, they compete to participate to earn their way into the sandbox. I think you can see the growth along each of these lines. In the beginning, we had only 5 student teams applying. This year, just a couple weeks ago, we had 129 students. And the students are so energized, so excited, they get a chance to be creative, to work through their own plans, not just what somebody is telling them from a book. So this is just a few of these are the logos for some of the companies. I just checked last night. They've so far received up to $3 million in venture capitalists from some of the different startup companies. In addition to student entrepreneurship, I'm very supportive of faculty entrepreneurship. We reap amazing benefits when faculty do startup simultaneously with their other faculty responsibility. This is Jeff Rubin, who he started his own company when he was a master's student and teaching as an adjunct, highly talented technical person. He then joined the faculty, again, as a professor of practice. He just was promoted to associate professor of practice. His company, Sidearm Sports, provides websites for 572 different college athletic departments across the country. What's important about it, he's located right in the school. He really attracts students to the school. He pays rent for the space he's in. He employs 21 full-time employees and 25 student employees. And then he's in the classroom. He teaches 200 students plus in one of our intro courses. Those are students from our school as well as other schools. And what it does is it dramatically increases the number of students from other schools on campus who then find us. And so what they do, again, in addition to bringing prestige and reputation to the school, the students, again, feel the excitement of that which they're learning is real and they are practicing it. So I believe that all I've said suggests that something for where the future lies for library and information schools is preparing information professionals through this entrepreneurial stance. So I don't want to mistake me that so here you can see this is the this is the growth in our student body. But if you look at one point, we were a library school, and we were created in I forget the date, 1896 as a library school. In 1974, we became the first information school in the country. In subsequent years, we've added a PhD program, a bachelor's in information management technology, 2 dual undergrads, 2 more masters, an executive master's, a professional doctorate, and 9 certificates of advanced study. So up until 1969, 100% of our students, as you can see at the top, were library science students. And what you can see, although the absolute number of MLS students have grown, it is now only 13% of our total student population, which I think may be very different than some of the other schools you've heard about, but it's definitely the direction that the more entrepreneurial, ever-growing iSchools are moving. But I don't want you to think that we don't have a lot of attention and care for our library science program. Don't mistake me on that. Our program is faring very well. It has an excellent reputation. It's highly rated. We've got about 200 students. The graduates are doing great. Most surprising thing, 100% of our school media graduates got jobs by graduation. And many of you will know our faculty. We have some terrific faculty. A lot of you know Dave Blankus' book just won the Best Book Award for librarianship, the Atlas of New Librarianship. And Barbara Stripling, who is a professor of practice in our school and also a recent graduate of our Doctorate of Professional Studies, who was just elected as the incoming president of ALA. So although I'm telling you all these other things we're doing in information, we still do have a very strong presence in library science. So thank you.
Oh, what a thrill to be here. Thank you very much. And Susan, thank you for that introduction. That was really nice. I invite you to take any of my classes. Yes, yeah, thank you. I'd like to start with, I thought Mike's slide was very interesting, that one with agriculture, industry, and information. And I've noticed that most of my colleagues are going towards 2050. Maybe I'm stepping backwards a little bit. I'd like to go back to agriculture. But I actually think that I'm going forward, because if we are going to go forward, we're going to have to, at some point, feed ourselves. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be talking about today. For the last 3 years at University of San Francisco, I've been teaching a class in the spring called Green Media. And this is an advanced production class, an advanced social media production class. It's got 12 students in it. And our motto is very simple. It's making media about making food. Okay? And these are the wonderful students in it from this semester. We read Michael Pollan. We watch Julia Child clips. We watch the Food Network. We watch Rachel Ray. We browse through cookbooks and food magazines and what people call food porn. And we also browse through sites like Epicurious, Neighborhood Fruit, Locavore, things like that. But what we mostly do is, again, make media about making food. Okay, so my students are learning how to cook, learning how to harvest, and learning how to tell stories about food. Okay. Interestingly, as a kind of a side note, I can find any kind of computer labs across our campus. I can use many computer labs. What is difficult is finding a kitchen. It's exceedingly difficult to find just simply a kitchen. So what we've done is struck up a really nice collaboration with a local church, St. Cyprian's Church, located 3 blocks away from the University of San Francisco, and this is where we do our cooking. And I think this is a little bit cruel to show these pictures before lunch. I'm kind of hearing my stomach just looking at that beautiful frittata and some of those buttermilk biscuits. So I apologize if this is rude. But what... Besides making food, what I'm trying to do with my students is have them combine words and photographs and videos and upload them to Flickr, Instagram, or WordPress blogs. All right? That's what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to do. And what's wonderful about this, I think a lot of people understand this in this room, is that I spend very little time actually teaching these technologies. My students understand how to do this. Mike called this the Google generation. I call it the Facebook generation, because all of my students, through Facebook, all of my students have learned how to create profiles, how to make media, how to upload media, and how to tag media. So I usually spend about 5 to 10 minutes teaching something like Flickr. It's usually just a homework assignment. Start a Flickr account, get to know it, come back to class tomorrow. All right? What I do teach them, though, is how to share, all right? Or rather, to be more precise, I teach them how to share creatively, effectively, and responsibly. My students know how to share. They love sharing. They share too much, way too much. But what I don't think they always understand is how to be